Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and I'm joined today by Paul Dial, who's the Acting Chief Administrative Officer for the County Executive, and that's me. So welcome, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm happy to have you on the show today. You are in a new position, but you're certainly not new to county government. Right. So why don't you start off by telling our viewers a little bit about yourself and your background?
Okay. I've been in Maryland for a little over 30 years. 20 of that is in Frederick County. And for the last 19, I've been the Director of Parks and Recreation here. Enjoyed it immensely. Wonderful people here to work with and beautiful county to be involved with. Over the last couple months, having the opportunity here to be Acting Chief Administrative Officer. I appreciate you giving me that opportunity. And it's certainly been a challenge and learning so much more about the county. Also wanted to mention that I wanted to also thank Doug Browning for his support over the years here, as well as his support even after he has left us in his position, and he was a great mentor.
Yes, and Doug's certainly always there to help
Yes.
if we need him for something.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
yes, I think that, a lot of people view you as Park and Recs because that's what you've done for so many years. Right. But I think it's important for people to recognize that all of our division directors meet on a regular basis. They interact with each other. They make sure all the pieces of county government fit together. So as a division director, you've at least had some interaction with almost every county division. And those years of experience in the county and the knowledge of the county government, I think, is a real asset that you bring to the job. People feel that they can rely on you. They know who you are. They're comfortable with you. And I think that's a great attribute that you bring to the position of Chief Administrative Officer. So why don't you share a little bit about what your role is, what an average day is like as the CAO, and a little bit about what you've been working on.
Well, if I could, from your comment about the directors, I would just like to mention that we have 17 directors that I'm working with, and they are a very knowledgeable group. There's so much expertise in different areas, and they are such an asset to where in this position you depend on great people to do a great job, and we really are very fortunate to have the directors that we have. Part of my job at this time is to work with them, to be a support for them, and really to do the day-to-day work of the county to make sure that those things are covered. But again, we have great people, very capable people in those positions to do that. Another point with a Chief Administrative Officer is kind of coordinating with the county council and the council issues, and should there be requests in those areas that we provide efficient responses to them, and then also any constituent requests that come in as well to deal with those. And then very importantly, anything that's directed or requested from the county executive as well, that we want to make sure that those are taken care of as well.
Yep. Certainly you get to work on all of my initiatives, but right. I really think it's important for people to recognize the breadth of the job, because your job is really about bringing good management to county government. But the scope of work that our county government provides is just tremendous, from fire and rescue to taking care of children and families, to the health department, to water and sewer, to planning and zoning, permitting and inspections, legal. Lots of different areas of county government services. And you get to see all of that and try to make sure that that good management coordination happens throughout all these diverse areas. And so it's a big job. So I don't think in the private sector world you see very many managers, people in your position, right, who have 17 directors that work for them and 17 directors that do such different work. It really is a great county, and we do really provide a breadth of services.
I would have to say that while being here for the 19 years, I thought I had a very good knowledge of the county, but in this process and being involved in these last two months, it has really brought out the level you're talking about of the complexity that's there, and all the different areas that we touch in the county, and it is impressive to see all the different contacts that are made throughout the community.
So what are some of your goals and priorities?
I guess one is I need to be a resource and a support to the staff, to where that the staff has the ability to come to me if there's a tool they need or support that they need to do the job. So I want to make sure that I'm there for them. I want to make sure that the goals and objectives of the county executive are met as well, and I also want to make sure that our constituents are dealt with in an effective and timely manner, so that they feel that they're heard and their issues are dealt with appropriately. I think that's very important that we are timely in those responses, and I think that's an important goal as well.
I think it is as well. Certainly, we're here to serve the people of the community, and when they have a question or a concern, we do try to problem solve and provide them with an answer. Right. And that is an important function of the county executive office and county government in general. Right. So what are some of the issues that have bubbled up to the top of your agenda?
Well, I think the constituent services, as we're talking about here, is very much one. We're going to continue to look for ways to be more efficient in those areas. You don't really want people to call in and then they're given 3 different numbers to call. Right. You want to try to assist them to get them to the right place and answer their question more quickly. So I think that working in that area and trying to prove in that area, whether it is a email that comes in, whether it's a phone call that comes in, whether it's referred by the county council, whatever it might be, we want to make sure that we look for ways to try to be more efficient in those areas. The other issue that I have personally is, even though I've been in Parks and Recreation, I really want to learn more, understand more about the different divisions. Because they are so complex and there's so many things going on, I really have to continue to work to be more knowledgeable of what's going on in these different divisions so that I can make better decisions or better recommendations related to those areas. So that's really one of my goals in the coming months, is to be more knowledgeable in those areas and hopefully then to be a better support to them as well.
Well, there is a lot to learn, and you know, everything is changing. I think we're in a time period in our history where technology and you know, other changes are much more fast and are changing the work that we do. Right. I think just to highlight, you know, constituent service is a little bit different under charter government than it has been under commissioner form of government. The council has the legislative role, so if people have an issue with the recycling pickup or with a pothole, they really should be contacting the division. Correct. Or the administration, because it's not a legislative issue that really falls within the scope of work of the county council. So if they have a problem that they think needs a legislative solution, certainly your council members are the place to go for that. Right. So we're really trying to clarify, if you take a concern that's an administrative concern to the council, it's going to come to us to answer anyway. Right. The fastest way to get an issue addressed is to really go to the agency with your questions. So, and our staff throughout county government really tries to respond in some manner to everybody within 24 hours. Sometimes complex issues can't be solved that way, but we want people to know that we're working on their issue and trying to find an answer to their question. So
I would have to say that the divisions clearly want to be able to solve those problems. Mm-hmm,
they do.
And would love to have that opportunity to do that. And what we're looking at is to do things where we can to streamline so that we get them to the location that's going to deal with that issue the quickest for them. That's so right. Those are great points.
And of course we have the web page and the technology so that people can find the resource they need within county government. Right. So anything that else you'd like to share about your experience as the Chief Administrative Officer?
Just that it's been a fascinating challenge so far, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And again, I appreciate this opportunity.
Well, I'm happy to have you in the position. I think you're doing a great job. And I think county government is ticking along, and our initiatives are moving forward, and our constituent services is great. So if someone wants to contact you, how can they do that?
Right, they can call the office at 301-600-1028 or at my email address. I think they'll have it posted here as well. And if someone has an issue at some time, I'd welcome hearing from them.
All right. Well, thank you for all you do. I think we're off to a good start, and we're keeping county government moving. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Community Conversations, and for meeting our Acting Chief Administrative Officer, Paul Dial, who's doing a great job serving you, the citizen of Frederick County.